Good morning, America. Happy Sunday and happy Memorial Day weekend. My name is Jimmy Smith, the host of The Big Show. Alongside of me, as always, and the host of Pissed Off Parent, Dwayne Ward. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Happy Sunday.
I love the double bicep curl intro.
Oh, yeah,
baby. Just let him have it first thing in the morning on Sunday.
The before and after.
I'm excited about today. Hopefully everyone has a really good weekend planned. I know that this weekend is emotional for a lot of people.
Yes, it is.
There is a lot wrapped around this weekend, and so I figured what better topic to talk about this weekend to make it kind of segue right into Memorial Day weekend is maybe talk a little bit about respect and honor, since it's a theme for this weekend. Memorial Day is all about respecting and honoring those who give it all for us to have the freedom that we have in the best country on the planet. So, So just wanted to, say that for all those men and women who are listening today all around the world, if you guys have ever served or are actively serving, thank you for all that you've done. Thank you for all that you do. I have a tremendous amount of respect for you guys, and I appreciate the sacrifices that you guys make on a daily basis, or the sacrifices that you guys have made. We honestly do live in the best country on the planet. Is our country perfect? It is absolutely not anywhere close to it, but it is the best country that has ever existed. And it's because of brave men and women who have served our country to help make peace possible for all of us. So from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of Dwayne Ward, thank you for all that you do. We truly appreciate it. So Dwayne, you got any big plans for the weekend?
Well, we were talking about it before the show. Actually, I've got a toy show to go to a little bit later today. I know it's a never-ending thing. I was showing off some of my
rumor has it that the purchases have already begun, and that you got some pretty cool items to add to the collection. And
I picked up this guy. Yeah, I picked up a GB36. Another. Yes, I know. I already have 3 of these guys over here, but yeah, I got this yesterday. The guy got a lot in, and a LOT, or lot of items in, and I basically did my Pawn Stars. Well, I did my telling them more than you ever want to know about each one of them, because it is obviously a love of mine. And this guy was there, and he's like, "Hey, will you? I'll sell this one to you for X." And I was like, "I've already got 3 of them." And you know what? My wife, she was the one going, "Get it, get it, get it." And I walked out of that with this one. I got my Optimus Prime over here in the corner, and a couple others. So yeah, I am beyond. I'm geeking out like crazy. So happy.
So Nemesis Prime is Optimus Prime, right? He's the main character, the good guy.
Yeah, the good guy.
But this is just Optimus Prime in all black, right?
Yeah, yep. He's all black. We're gonna have a convoy. Remember that old '70s song, Convoy? Yeah, I've got 5 total Optimus Primes. I've got 5 of the originals. So.
I don't know if this is going to date me at all, but that kind of reminds me of that truck from Knight Rider.
Oh yeah.
Where the kit would go into it like down the highway.
Might have to get me a kit car and do a little something with that. I don't know. My nerd knows no bounds.
I actually have a buddy of mine, this Jesse Harmon right here. Good morning, Jesse. I want to introduce you guys, because I can't remember. I think Jesse likes that kind of stuff too. He's like right up that alley,
Okay.
Yeah, he's
a little nerd.
Yeah, kind of nerd, but super intelligent kind of thing,
Oh well, if he's intelligent, I might have some issues.
I was talking about Jesse, not you, buddy.
Okay, all right, just making sure.
General Miller, good morning. How are you? We always got NJ Hatter in the house. We appreciate you. And then XL Pro. Hey. I haven't seen him before, so good morning. Welcome to the show, XL. And here we go. It's already starting. You had to rescue them.
Yeah, that's how she describes it.
Rescued.
Yeah, she calls them dumb trucks affectionately, because she knows that gets me all fired up, because Optimus Prime he's my man. But yeah, she, as far as supporting all this, when they take me to the insane asylum, she's going right with me. Now she there And she's like, no, I mean, she wanted me to get a couple more. She wanted me to get another Optimus Prime. I'm like, I've already got 5, but and she describes it as I have to rescue them. So
you're right. I mean, you must.
With a woman like that, I mean,
you found a good one.
It took me a couple tries, but I found a good one. Yeah, she is. You know what? We just celebrated 8 years together Friday, and I made a cute little movie for her, which made her cry, which I love doing, embarrassing her.
Movie of what?
It was again nerd, but I had it to where it was our first song, our first dance, but I did it on a Star Wars crawler, talking about our Tinder date. And at the very end, I had the Bloodhound Gang, human, or what is it? We're nothing but mammals, and I did that with our mouths moving and stuff like that. At the very end, because I had to put a little bit of B into that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one of those that it was a Star Wars crawler. It had "I Don't Dance" by Bryce. Can't remember the guy's name. Can't even do his country voice right now, but I had the Star Wars crawler, his song going, and then I had the cutout and the video of it, but our cutout of our first dance when we got married, and then of course the Bloodhound Gang song at the end, because that's who I am. But anyway, yeah, we celebrate 8 years on Friday, and it's been a wild, fun ride. I mean, finally picked right. She is red pilled. Actually, Eric and I were talking about this the other day. She's red pilled as can be. In the news today, we know that a certain business is having some challenges today with putting stuff in their stores that
Are you talking about Target?
I'm talking about Target, yes,
Target.
and I mean, guys. She's off the market. She's all mine. She comes home. I kid you not. She comes home. And she goes, "Did you see the crap that blah, 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 blah on TV about?" And I'm just sitting there, a little tear coming down my eye. And I'm just like, God, I love you.
I know, right?
It's, having a partner in crime like that. It's like, oh. And then she lets me, or I say, she encourages me. She almost twists my arm and forces me to buy, my true love, Transformers and Voltrons. It just doesn't get better than that. Hey. I can die happy. Anyway.
Brandy, all the men watching this want to know if you have sisters. So let us know if you have any sisters.
We're gonna laugh
because we want to rescue them.
Brandy is laughing her butt off right now, but not for the reason that you're thinking. she does have a sister.
Yeah. So now I was talking about Jesse. So Jesse does like Star Wars and Marvel. Okay. You like Marvel? Don't you like Marvel?
Oh yeah. I am. I love. Yeah, I am a Marvel guy. Actually, I don't know. Hold on, let me break tradition here. I don't know, and this is again another funny story. But if let's see if we can get there.
Stan Lee.
That the man
is that you in the background?
That is a thing. Me and my 2 boys, and wow. I think the face says it all.
Oh, you are happy, man.
Oh
you are happy.
So. This picture was taken shortly after I got my freedom from my first wife, and I had this picture proudly displayed in the house. And when Brandy came over, she's like, looked at it and she goes, "Oh, is that your grandfather?" And she was never into Star Wars or Marvel or any of that stuff.
Geez.
And of course, I went. I wish he was my grandfather.
Yeah.
But funny story.
Then you started second guessing whether or not she was the one after that comment,
No, I knew she was the one. Kind of. Well, you're right. Yeah, I kind of was like, wait a second, but she had never seen Star Wars. She had no idea. And as we're dating, I took her. She hates when I tell that story, but I took her.
Jesse's met him 5 times.
Oh yes,
5 times.
Yeah,
that's only because Jesse hangs out outside of his house and stalks him. So it's basically what happened was he went to court 5 times and Stan Lee had to go there. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, I have a restraining order against him. Does that mean we're in love? It only says 100 yards. There's still a chance. But yeah, we went to go see Ant-Man, and we've been dating for a while at that point. And we walked out, and she goes, "I did not realize that those dumb things you were talking about. It actually had a plot. It's actually pretty good. It actually has." And I'm like, "What do you think I was doing all this time?" And then, of course, then she started nerding out and stuff, and I finally got her over to the dark side of nerddom. So it's all good. It's again, Brandy knows I love her. I love her. Publicly stating it. But yeah, she's a great woman. Took me a couple tries. I'll be the first to admit, to say that out loud. But
hey, three times a charm, buddy.
Third time's a charm. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, she is.
Brandy,
she
welcome
is
to nerddom. Welcome to nerddom.
Oh wait,
good morning.
Yeah, if you see her last,
we need an OG Nintendo to go with those Transformers.
My oldest son, he collects all of that. Actually, I have a game arcade machine that has all the Nintendo and Atari and stand up because I nerd all things. So I have all that stuff in there. The room's only so big. She's telling me that it's going to be moving out into my Metallica room with. I'll have to start mixing some of my Transformers and stuff with Metallica or with my Metallica memorabilia. But yeah.
You look like a Metallica guy, kind of.
I am actually.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, I have
I didn't realize that.
In my god, a huge Metallica fan. Actually, I have the shirt from 1992 that I wore, which I can't fit into anymore. But in '92, and the original ticket stub in glass. I have it in my Metallica room. That all of his original records, the Saw Blade record, a very highly sought after. It's actually in the shape of a saw blade. And it was the interview right after they got Jason Newsted after Cliff Burton was unfortunately killed in that truck accident or the truck accident. But yeah, I have huge. I have a Metallica clock. It's a record that's been cut out to be like the guys from Garage Days Inc. That whole mashup. But yeah, I'm a nerd.
I'm gonna quickly take you to nerddom by admitting something. So I'm not as huge of a Metallica fan as you are, but I can play a mean Metallica song on Rock Band.
Oh, yeah, I have the Rock Band. I have all that. That's actually why I started relearning guitar.
I love Rock Band.
Oh yeah, I can look cool and all that. Yeah, I jam out to got me some Rock Band stuff going.
Yeah. Well, I hear Rock Band really do with the ladies too. They love a guy who plays Rock Band all day.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I know we need to segue into other stuff, but apparently, and this is for the guys out there, you want to impress a girl, you need to learn how to fix stuff. Yesterday, I had a banner weekend. I was telling you about earlier. I fixed the weed whacker. I put a new kitchen sink in that Brandy's been wanting, and I gave her a CarPlay in her car. I went ahead and redid all that and put the radio in myself, and she just looked at me biting her lower lip and was like, "Oh, that is so sexy." So
yeah, women do like that, and it makes us feel good.
Oh yeah,
do those kind of stuff.
Oh, definitely.
So speaking of, go back to MJ's comment. Where's MJ's comment at about the Transformer? This one?
Oh yeah.
So speaking of which, so I was out a couple days ago at a store, and I was going to try to find a new coffee mug, which I did, by the way.
Oh yeah!
In representation of Memorial Day, and speaking of OG Nintendo, they had a coffee mug. Tell me if you remember this. They had a coffee mug, and it was square, but the front of it was the old Nintendo disc of Zelda. And and remember the Zelda game was in gold?
Gold, yeah. My son has some of those, yeah.
So it was they basically made the coffee cup front look like a gold Zelda.
Nice.
It was kind of pimp. I'll be honest, kind of pimp. I didn't buy it because it's kind of awkward to drink out of a square coffee cup, but it did bring back old memories. And it kind of makes me, to MJ's point, kind of makes me want to grab an old Nintendo and get the old Zelda game.
I'm going to throw it out there now where I'm really Brandy, her game is Dr. Mario. I don't know if you remember that game on Nintendo. That and Jaws. But Dr. Mario, this woman turned into some possessed demon from hell. I mean, everyone loves her. They think she's the nicest, sweetest person. And I'm going to throw a little shade out there on her. But when that Dr. Mario comes up on Nintendo, she turns into some satanic, I don't know what it is. She is talking trash. I mean, I was like, whoa, hey, girl. And she's awesome. I mean, she can sit there and smoke anybody. But yeah, anyway. Good old OG.
Good morning, Targonsky. Good morning. Hey, tell me if you can pronounce her name. Go ahead, give it a shot.
Well, I'm Polish. I'm going to go with, okay, yeah, Kelly. Right?
But go ahead with the other one. Can you pronounce that?
Wardanowski. Wardanowski?
Nope.
I got the ski part right.
It's Wojciechowski. Wojciechowski.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Kelly Wojciechowski Targonski. Can you imagine that poor girl whenever she, like back in high school, when each letter you had to put a little bubble?
Oh God. Well,
I mean, everyone's halfway done with the test and she just got done finishing her name, you know? I mean, she had to type all that out.
Just think if she's got to do like when she has to do her passwords and crap on her phone or on like to get Netflix or whatever, she's got to type her, if that's her email address or something. Just sitting there like a half hour later, Netflix is already updated and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I feel bad about,
She's the only person that can actually get like Kelly Wojciechowski at gmail.com. Try getting Jimmy Smith at Gmail. I have to put an underscore, 5 special characters. Yeah.
Sacrifice a cat.
She can actually probably get her entire name there. No one has that name.
Yeah, she's not putting the year of her birth on the end of it.
Yeah, exactly. General Miller. Yeah, Star Wars and Game of Thrones. Hey, man, I'm with you on that one, dude. I'm with you. Yeah. I like Star Wars. I don't know if you guys probably can't tell. I'm not going to mess with it today, but my theme here, you can't really say, but it's all black and white behind me because I have a Stormtrooper theme here. So this entire room is all Star Wars themed, including my brand new tower, which I got to show you guys one day.
Yes, that thing is sweet.
Yeah, you know what? F it. Let's
just nerd this thing out here. Oh, look at that. Oh, water cooled. Nice. Oh, got the late. Oh yeah, I got the LG or RGB.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, you've got what the i9, got the I'm trying to remember your GPU, but yeah, you got a gaming box going. I mean, that rig is set for gaming. It's not a solitaire machine. Yeah,
it is not a solitaire machine. No,
you'll be able to do that background with the piano and the lanai again if you wanted to.
That's right. If I want to do the virtual background, this guy can actually handle it. So I paid someone to help me kind of build the machine because I want to make sure I got it right. And I asked the guy, I said, how fast is this new computer compared to my old computer? And I think he did it video card to video card, right? And so we did like a performance test on it. Now this video card in the old computer, yeah, I think I paid $900 for the video card in the old computer. So it was not a cheap video card. Those things are expensive. But I tested it up against this video card. The test said that this computer right here is over 1,200 times faster.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking 2 or 3 times faster.
Oh,
1,200. So it screams.
Yeah, you're popping. Yeah, what was it? 12 gig of DDR6 and that thing. I'm like, what is he talking about? But yeah, and then I think you got the new Intel. You're an Intel guy. I'm a Ryzen boy, which it's one of those 1911 Glock discussions. But Intel, yeah, you're popping the DDR6 memory on the PC now, so you're going to be screaming along. You're going to be able to definitely get some good stuff
I got
out.
The Corsair RM1200 power supply. I got the Intel Core i7 13,700K processor with 16 cores.
Oh yeah.
And let's see what else I got here. So the new, let me move this over here. The new hard drives are not even in disk anymore. They look like RAM. The
you
RAM
sound
sticks.
old. You sound that's the NVMe. Yeah, the NVMs. Yeah, they have really. I mean, probably your boot up time didn't take a half hour anymore.
Right. It's quick.
Yeah, it's boom. I mean, yeah, the NVMs those have revolutionized, and they're cheap now. You can get 2 terabyte for like $100 now. It's good stuff. Man, we're just geeking out like crazy.
We are geeking out.
Got your VR in the background. Got your PlayStation 4 over there.
Probably logging off, going, "This podcast sucks."
Yeah, what the Big Show, the Man Show. What?
I thought he was about masculinity.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Superman, which I know he's a little controversial with some of his views out there with some of the lefter folks out there, but he's a huge nerd too. You wouldn't know it. Henry Cavill. He's a huge nerd. Builds on PCs and plays World of Warcraft. I mean, he's a huge nerd. So you know what? That's the thing. And as I told my wife when we first met, you know what? You tried the whatever. I mean, sometimes us guys, we surprise you.
Brandy's not going to hook me up with her sisters.
Yeah. I'm like, we're laughing when you said you have a sister who want to save you. I'm like, we're laughing, but not for the reason you're thinking. It's all good.
Metallica. Jules.
Hey, Jules on.
Is it Jules? It's Jules.
I think it's Julie, but I remember her
Julie's?
account had got hacked at one point, and she had to do some. Maybe that's a kind of thing. I don't know. Variation, trying to go incognito. Super Mario Sunshine. Yeah,
I never heard of that game.
Yeah, that was. I think that was a little bit later in the thing. I think almost that was for the maybe Wii. No, it was right before the Wii came out. I think it was when that one hit it pretty big. But yeah, well, yeah, the Super Mario franchise, which in the world of nerd and woke, anti-woke stuff. I mean, Mario Brothers the movie did quite well with their with what they released and everything. I saw it a couple weeks ago. It's pretty good.
The new one that came out.
Yeah, the new one came out. It's pretty good. For what it was, and pulling from it's only so much you can do with a game. I mean, it doesn't have a Laura Croft to ogle over, but it was a pretty good movie.
So Jack Black, he plays the dinosaur. Is that what it is in that movie? I'm not 100%, but Bowser.
Bowser. Yeah.
It's a dinosaur, right? It's a dinosaur.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a kind of a turtley lizard, whatever.
So Jack Black recorded this song called Peaches. Have you heard the song Peaches?
I have not.
Peaches. Talking about how he loves peaches. Peaches is the name of the princess in Super Mario Brothers.
Right, yeah, Princess Peach, yeah.
And the guys at work will play this Peaches song constantly over and over again, God. And his words are stuck in your brain. Peaches. It's like, oh my God, will you please stop with that stuff? Anyhow. So today's podcast, folks, let's get right to this. All right. Today's podcast is, I guess, one of the more common topics that I have with men is about love and respect. And how important it actually is for men, and do they want more of it? Do they want both?
Right.
Which one would they choose if they could only choose one? And I tell you, to a lot of women's surprise, if you ask men, hey, if you could only choose one or the other, of course we want both, but if you could only choose one or the other, would you rather have the love of your woman or the respect of your woman? A lot of guys surprisingly say respect. I say that because I want the females out there to understand, because men already do, how important respect really is for a lot of men. And a lot of men out there will say that once they lose the respect of their woman, they've kind of lost the relationship.
Oh yeah, gone.
So and
it's in the Bible.
Is it? Okay. Yeah.
Is it? Oh geez, I'm trying to remember the 25. Men, I mean, oh boy, I'm not going to even try to butcher it, but if you go to the Bible, it says, men, they need to respect their, Ephesians 5:25. Women need to respect your husbands. It talks about love all throughout the whole thing, but on the man part, boy, that didn't sound right, but you need to respect.
They need to respect
men. Yeah.
Yeah. So, You think about, so respect, right? And respect, right. Respect, many people will agree that it's earned, right? It's not given. And how do you earn the respect of your partner, your spouse? And a few minutes ago, Dwayne was kind of sharing a couple things that he did for Brandy around the house, and I know that she respects him for those kinds of things. It's no surprise that men, we feel good about ourselves. We feel like we're leaving the world a better place whenever we pass on, whenever we are builders, whenever we create something. Men have always been very interested in things, and women have always been interested in people. Right. Women are the creators of people, men are the creators of things. And when men are out there building, or when women are watching men build, it helps kind of go along to getting the respect of men. Now, that's certainly not the only way that you can gain your woman's respect, and it's probably not even the best way, but it's certainly one of the ways. So what I figure I talk about today is let's talk about, because it's so important for men. I wanted to talk about a couple ways for men to feel better about navigating this crazy, challenging world that men have to navigate. Because a lot of men, they're having a really hard time out there. They're having a hard time in relationships. They're having a hard time keeping relationships, acquiring them. They're having a hard time in the single dating world. They have a hard time at work. It's an uphill battle, and we all can understand that. And to respect and honor, those two things mean so much to men. I figured I'd talk a little bit about how you can how to better respect and honor yourself. And then, so I'll give you, 5-10 tips on how to respect and honor yourself. And then I want to go into maybe 7 or 8 tips on how to respect and honor your spouse. Because if you want to get respect and honor, one of the best ways of getting it is to give it, in my opinion. So let's dive into it. One of the things that I would that when guys are kind of down and out, I will tell them, we all know about the 5 senses, right? Touch, taste, sight, sound, and hearing. Those are the 5 things that human beings know. Scientists claim that there's over 30 different senses, and I do believe that there are things out there like intuition. There's things that we can't touch, taste, see, smell, that we just know exist, like gravity, or the fact that you could be walking down the street and you cannot hear or see anyone following you, but someone's following you. Right. Or you're in a crowded room and someone new walks into the room, and the energy that they give off, right away you either like or dislike that person. That doesn't fall into one of the normal 5 senses. So it's my opinion that I think that there are multiple of 5, and females are very, very in tuned to all the other senses, like the intuition and stuff. Well, one of the senses that I want guys to try to be more in tune with is their own instincts. I want you to trust your instincts, because instincts, in my opinion, is formulated over many, many years of knowing how the world works, how people move, how people act. You don't need like rational reason or excuses as to why. If your gut says no, then follow through. Start to learn to trust and listen to your instincts, because the more you listen, the stronger your intuition will become, and the better you'll get at learning how to trust it. I think that a lot of times, and I think they say this, I think it's statistically proven in testing, where you'll see a multiple choice answer and you'll pick one, but then you'll second guess it. And then you go with a different answer, but you just go with C. C down the board. And statistically, the very first answer that you chose ends up being the right answer more than the ones you chose. So guys, I think that trusting your instincts will be one of the ways that, you can kind of help respect and honor yourself. Another thing too is speak the truth. Now, this one sounds a little obvious, right? Yeah. But there's a lot of people out there who don't always necessarily speak the truth. They'll speak half truths, and a half truth is also a half lie. Honor your truth. Don't be afraid to stand up for what you believe in. If the people around you really honor and respect you, they're not going to be offended by your truth. Right. There's an old Dr. Seuss quote. Let me see if I can do it justice. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind won't matter, and those who matter won't mind. Something like that. And I think that a lot of the reasons why people come to me for advice is because they know I'll be honest. And coincidentally, I think a lot of the reasons why people don't come to me for advice is because they know I'll be honest. So, but my friends who know me, they know that you're going to get the honest truth. And they always know what page they're on with me, because I speak the truth. And I think that I gain the respect of a lot of people for doing that. I always say, be honest, just don't be brutally honest. That's kind of what I say.
Yeah, there's a fine line. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have to be honest to the point to where you're crushing souls and hurting feelings to where they're they can't recover
crushing
from
that,
them. Yeah, crushing dreams and stuff. Another thing too, and guys do this all the time. And guys, if you're guilty of it, please stop doing this. And that is speaking bad about yourself. Guys are really tough.
Yeah.
You are your worst critic kind of a thing. I get it. Guys have to be thrown into the fire to be forged and come out harder and stronger on the other end. True. Absolutely true. And if we fall short or we don't make the mark, men are decent. A lot of men are decent at taking accountability, but there are a select few, and maybe you're listening to this right now where, I mean, you're all over yourself, man. I mean, you're telling yourself that you ain't worth it, that you're a failure, that you can't do anything right. Look, I mean, guys, your thoughts become your actions eventually. And I don't want you guys to hold yourself accountable.
Oh,
And I don't want to say be hard on yourself, but put some pressure on yourself. Yeah. But don't put so much pressure to where it knocks you down to where you can never get up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
the goal temper the steel. Yeah, temper the steel, but don't knock it off.
Don't bend that thing, to where you can't fix it. I mean, you want to put a little pressure on yourself, but not so much to where it's oppressing. Right. How often do you guys, catch yourself saying mean and hurtful things to yourself? If you find that you do that a lot, you've got to watch it. We are always our harshest critic, and we can be quick to judge ourselves for our actions, but be mindful over your internal dialogue, because your internal dialogue can be powerful enough to either bring you up or keep you down. So just be careful on how you speak bad about yourself. Going right into that line too, another thing as well is don't speak bad about other people. Be careful about doing that too. What you say about others says nothing about them and everything kind of about you. Gossiping, making small talk at other people's events, that sends out bad vibes. When we go back to the sight, taste, touch, sights, hearing, sound thing, the five senses. I can't prove what I'm about to say. This is just my guess. Maybe you guys agree, maybe you don't agree. But one of those unspoken senses, one of the many that go past that five, is I think that whenever we say and do things, it puts out an energy amongst the world, some sort of like vibration, if you will, some unseen, unfelt vibration. And when you are talking bad about others, it kind of says more about you than it does other people. And here's why. If I'm always talking shit about someone behind their back, the people who are listening to it, they know that when they're not around, I'm probably talking shit about them too.
You're talking about Rich, right? Is that
Richie? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I want to.
Correct. Yeah, I'm always talking shit about Richie.
But you mean it in Christian love? There's the difference.
I love and hate that guy. Like I want him to die a midget's death. No, I'm just joking.
Oh God!
I'm just joking.
Oh God!
Jesse Harmon. You hold on.
Uh-oh.
Look who just popped up.
That's what I said.
Oh, is that what he said it?
Yep.
Is that what he said it? I didn't even know he even popped up.
See, that's come back to bite you.
Oh
Die a midget's death.
I honestly thought I was talking shit about his back, and he's on the podcast right now listening in. Honestly, I'm sending out bad vibes. Bad vibes. He knows I love him. I love Jesse's crazy ass too. So another one, right? So another one is be your best friend. Be kind to yourself. How often do you honestly encourage yourself to follow your own dreams, conquer your fears? Yeah. How often do you act like you even like yourself? You only have this one life in this one body that you have right now. So make the most of it. Encourage, support yourself, be kind to yourself, not only as far as what you say, but to Richie's point on a few podcasts back, because we had Richie on the show, be kind to you, to the body, the vessel in which God gave you, because the body that you have, you only have one. So treat it more like it's important and not like an amusement park, like Richie would have said. I made the analogy a few weeks ago that if I was to give you a home, right, pay for a house and say, okay, the pro is you don't have to buy the house, I'm going to buy the for you. The con is this is the last house you can ever have. So this house you've got to live in from now and for the rest of your life. The follow-up question was, would you take care of that house if you knew that was the last house you would ever have? And everybody will say yes. Yes, I do preventative maintenance. I'd be easy on the house. I'd make sure I seal and caulk the windows so the water damage doesn't happen, and fix the roof on time and not kick the can down the road. Well, how is that any different than your own body?
Yeah.
Right? Take care of yourself, eat right, try to exercise when you can, things like that. So the point is, folks, is that, you want to be a friend to yourself. Some of you guys are great friends to everybody else, but you're not that much of a friend to yourself. So please make sure that you're a little more friendly to yourself. Number 6, honor the miracle that you are. Do you ever look at your body? I mean, like really, really take a look at it and stare and wonder in awe and over just how amazing every one of you guys are. Sounds a little corny, maybe, but think about it. It's a miracle that you're even here.
Yeah.
One of my little secret nerdy things about me is I love outer space. I've always had I kind of wish that I was born in the medieval days. I think I would have liked being born in the 1940s. And I think I would like to be born maybe 500 years in the future where we can explore space, because Star Trek, Star Wars, those kind of things, I've always had an interest in it. And, my point is when you really start looking at our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, right? We've got 8-9 planets here in our solar system. And then there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of solar systems in our galaxy. And then there are hundreds of millions of galaxies. It's just the distances and the sizes and the quantities of planets and stars out there is just so vast that it's hard to even comprehend with the human brain, to be honest. It's an absolute miracle that we're even alive, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were in the Goldilocks zone.
The Goldilocks zone, right? An M-class planet that's just far away from the star or just close enough to its star to be in that Goldilocks zone of temperature to inhabit water, therefore inhabiting life. And then on top of that, just the fact that you were one of those swimmers that got to that egg, first, right? I mean, and then
which surprises me about a few people. You're the one that won.
Some of you guys, I'm on. I mean, honestly, MJ was the fastest swimmer. Come on, General Miller, you're the fastest swimmer. Richie was the fastest swimmer out of all of them. Come on. And I know his slow ass. I mean, those were some handicapped sperms next to him when he won. I mean, holy cow. But it's just a miracle, So kind of practice, remembering that, because that'll bring gratitude, and it's a very liberating thing to have gratitude. Where you see a flaw, instead of seeing like a personality flaw or whatever, see it as an opportunity. Reach the point where you look in the mirror at yourself, and no matter what state you're in, no matter what state you are in your life, you just go, you know what, things could be a little bit better, probably fair, but boy, I've never slept on the street, or I've never went a day without a meal or whatever. And maybe some of you did sleep on the street, or maybe some of you guys did miss a meal because you didn't have enough money, or in a situation where you could feed yourself. But look where you're at now. You're better. You're better at it. I mean,
you're hanging out with us.
Be grateful. You're a participant on the big show in the comment section right here. So
be sure to like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, hit that like button. I mean, So there's certainly a lot of things to be grateful for. Number 7, and this is a tip that guys have a hard time with, is learn how to forgive.
Yeah.
Yourself as well. We have to be willing to let go and forgive our past wounds and the hurts in order to move forward. There are
That's a
some
big one.
stories out there from some of you guys that if all of us was to hear those stories, we'd be like, man, he really went through it, or she really went through it. But you got to learn to forgive yourself. That was the past. And, if you want to grow, and I know you guys do, you're going to have to let go of some of the BS decisions or words that you said. Make amends, say your forgiveness to the people that you've hurt, and just forgive yourself. Holding on to resentment creates subconscious patterns of resistance that can trickle down into all the areas of your life, and it will hold you back, because your inability to forgive yourself is holding some of you back right now. Start with forgiving yourself first, and then move on to forgiving others. Understand that everyone's just doing the best they can with the knowledge that they have. I mean, honestly, guys, if some of the bad decisions that you guys have made, if all you had was more information at that time that you had to make that decision, you probably likely would have made a different one. So we're just going through life making decisions, the best decisions that we can with the information that we had to make them at the small window of time we had to make those decisions. The fact that you didn't have all the information, maybe some of that's your fault, maybe some of it's not your fault, but forgive yourself. Number 8, make some time for yourself. Make some time for you. Take time out of every day, even if it's just for a few minutes, to do something for yourself. Meditating, being creative, I don't know, taking a bath. I don't take baths. I can't fit in the bathtub. But
my wife loves baths. That's her
women
oasis.
love baths, man.
Oh, she comes in the door sometimes, looks at me, and I'm like, bath is that way. I've already pre-drawn it for you, threw some salts in there. The toaster's on the side if you need it. Go right ahead.
Women love taking baths.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
it's like a phoenix or a rejuvenation, because she'll walk in there like she's going to kill everybody. She sits in there for an hour or two, comes out, and she's like...
She goes in the bath, the devil, comes out an angel.
Exactly. Yeah. Baths and women, they love that stuff. Hey.
It's kind of sexy too, women in baths. It's kind of sexy, at least for me. I don't know.
Oh yeah, we have our little thing, because she'll get in the bath and she's gonna kill me now. I think I even said it last week. I'm like, titties. Anyway, sorry.
Men love titties. So make time for yourself, even if it's a bath. Jesse probably takes baths. I'm guessing Jesse probably, he probably does. That's something he would do, because Jesse probably even has a man bun now. I'm not even sure anymore. I'm not even sure. Jesse probably has a man bun, takes a babs, and he's on the internet looking at things to buy at Target. Just saying.
Oh wow! I thought you were going to go after Rich.
Drinking a Bud Light.
I thought you were going to go after. Can I be the like the pinch hitter? Because I just thought of this, and it's something you would say, but I don't think you're thinking about it for Rich. So women that they take baths. Rich does his in the sink, like a little baby. No, too much. Don't give him my address. He'll kick my ass. Anyway,
Richie hates taking showers, because by the time the water hits him, it's like 30 minutes went by. But by the time that water falls down, it hits him. Number 9. Practice gratitude. Like, I'm grateful. I have friends with such flaws like these guys over here that I could just beat up on them. And I'm also grateful that these guys don't have a microphone to talk shit about me back. Right, it's all the bad juju is just going towards them, but they don't have a voice to say it back. Now, I know they're pissed off at me right now. I know.
Oh, Jesse said no man bun anymore. Anymore.
I told you he had one.
There are some unforgivable, or there are some, unforgivable sins there. The man bun is one of them.
So, gratitude is another thing that you guys can practice to make sure that you respect and honor yourself. Give yourself some props, man, for all the hard work you've done, for your life, your body, your career, all the things that you've accomplished. Learn how to be appreciative for what you have, and give thanks for the life that you've created so far, because, a lot of you guys are judging your where you're at in life based off of the things or the people that you see on TV. And
Mm.
Dwayne and I talked about this a few weeks back. You don't want to do that, right? Because the people that you see on TV, the reality shows, they're not even living those lives.
Yeah.
They're not even living those lives.
No.
So don't, people that you see on Instagram and things like that, come on. We know there's creative camera angles and filters and, things that make us look much more attractive and whatever. And so these people are taking 30, 40 pictures and they posted the 1 out of 30 that looked good.
Yeah.
After it was filtered out. So don't judge your
the
looks.
45-degree angle. The guy 45-degree because has a double chin. You got Yeah. The black and white photo in your Tinder profile, which Brandy still hates me for.
And
she said it was false advertising because my Tinder profile was a black and white photo, and she says that was false advertising, but she just couldn't help herself.
No, you actually did. I think my very first podcast ever was on dating tips. I think.
Yeah.
And you did what's called a pattern disrupt. So she was flipping through all the profiles, and then your pattern disrupt was your black and white photo, and everyone else's was in color. So you didn't know it, but you actually did something very good, and it worked. And now
I knew what I was doing.
Now look at you.
I knew what I was doing.
8 years later, you're still married. You got her. You locked her down. You're like, and
can't help myself.
I know, and she accepts you and for who you are, and encourages you to buy the Nemesis Optimus Prime. I mean, you got yourself a good one right there. So, your time, our time is limited on this planet, and the older that we all get, the more of a reality that becomes for us. When you start getting into your 30s and 40s and beyond, I tell you, time just speeds up so fast. I mean, can you guys believe that it's
Sorry.
Son of a bitch. This is why I was grateful to not have him have a microphone right there. He still has a voice on his keyboard, though.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't bought a bottle of shampoo in like 15 years. There's just no need. At this point, it's just embarrassing for me, I'm gonna like shampoo like 4 hairs, Oh goodness. Okay. So let's move on to how. So now we talked about how we can honor and respect ourselves. I threw down some tips on how we can show some respect to the people that we love, our spouses, the men and women who are our better halves. One of the things that we can do is compliment often.
Oh yeah.
Compliment your spouse. When's the last time, guys, that you've given your woman a compliment? Maybe you do it all the time. Excellent. But for those of you who don't, remember that she likes compliments as much as you like compliments.
Yep.
And, I can make an argument that it holds a little closer to the heart for women than it does men. Women really love words of affirmation. And, it's always easy to find the negative when life throws curveballs to all of us. With the state of the economy right now, many families have struggled financially. Tension is high. There's a lot of reasons to be sour. There's a lot of reasons to be down and out. But make sure that you're complimenting. I mean, I read a stat that was according to the National Law Review, divorce rates increased dramatically because of COVID this last few years.
Yep. Because
of COVID, money, and happiness. Those are the reasons driving the reason why divorce rates have increased. So, couples are, struggling, is my point, now more than ever. So it's really good. These are really good tips on how you can kind of show the honor and respect to your spouse. Also too, and Dwayne and I have talked about this as well, make sure that you never let happiness be the driving factor to whether or not you stay in a marriage. Happiness is way too fleeting. We all know it. Right. You'll never have long-lasting relationships if you chase happiness.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying I don't want you happy. I'm not saying you shouldn't be happy. What I'm saying is don't let happiness be the driving point of why you stay in a marriage or you leave a marriage. Because if you're leaving your marriage because you're no longer happy, who the hell is going to ever make you happy for the next 50 years?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to go into relationships, go into,
be content.
Honor, duty. Of course, happiness plays a factor into it as well. But do any of us really honestly think that our grandparents who've been married for 50 years, you think they were happy the entire time? I mean, come on.
No, there's no way.
You think there wasn't job losses? You think there wasn't economy crashes, stock market crashes? We know that there was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the history books, for God's sakes. You think there wasn't infidelity in your grandparents? You think there wasn't BS in the family? Guys, they went through all the same stuff that we went through. But why are they able to last 50 years and some of us can't last 5? It's because now more than ever we're taught to chase happiness. What's going to make you happy? What's going to make you happy? And if we chase happiness instead of doing the right thing or having honor or duty, we're going to end up in relationship after relationship after relationship, which ironically will lead to more unhappiness. So, one of the ways to make sure that you are, giving your spouse the best is to, compliment your spouse for the good things that he or she does. Be grateful for them. If they do a few things wrong, but they do a few things right, make sure that you're showing them what they do right. Because when you tell people what they do right, they oftentimes keep doing it because now they know that, that you like it. So, another number 2, publicly. Go ahead.
Well, I want to ask you. So, I mean, we're talking about spouses and, probably a number of the folks here are single or between spouses or relationships. Do you have any thoughts, like how you would do that in the dating world? I know it's kind of weird for a married guy to ask the single guy that, but what are ways, when you're dating or when you're trying to find that mate? I mean, one, I would say that, that's why, and speaking more so to the ladies and the guys, but this is why it's so important. Things that guys look for in women is that ride or die woman that's going to be content, happy, and be our ride or die partner throughout life. But what would be something that either you specifically or personally look for, or I guess what's some advice you would have, I guess overall on that whole area? Like,
I'm not 100% sure if I understand your question. Are you saying that while you're dating, what are some ways you can compliment the person you're dating? Is that what you're asking?
Not just so much there, but if you're like seeking a partner, like what are some things that you would look for while you're trying to find that significant other? Because I mean, we're talking about now, they're your spouse. You need, it's not all about happiness. You need to be content, the honor, respecting.
Yep.
But when you're dating or you're on, one of the social medias trying to find the next Mr. or Mrs. Right, what would be some things to look for? And I guess while you're dating, if you're just in your initial stages, what would you?
So what you would look for as a man to a woman would look different than what a woman would look for in a man, right?
Oh yeah.
To your point, you were saying that men are looking for their ride or die, that kind of stuff, and the reason why, because now more than ever, men understand that keeping a woman happy is very hard to do,
impossible,
and men are also realizing the risks that are involved for a man to get into a long-term relationship and marriage.
Yep.
Women are leaving marriages at the rate of 70 to 80%. They're the ones filing for divorce. So of course, men are going to be looking at, is she going to be my ride or die?
Mm-hmm.
And what that really means is when you break down ride or die, hey, there's going to be times that are going to suck. We're going to go through life. There's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. And when we have our inevitable downs, does she still have my 6?
Exactly.
Is she still going to be there? Or is she going to jump ship the first time I lose my job?
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So ladies, that's what men are looking for, to Dwayne's point. When he says ride or die, it's not just we're going to battle all the people out there who we don't like. That's not what men are talking about. What men are talking about when they say ride or die is, hey, hun, we're going to do this for the long haul, and I'm going to give my all to you, and I'm going to do the best I can to avoid pitfalls, but pitfalls and rain will come despite our best efforts. And when they come, will you still be by my side? Are you still going to love me? Because, I did a whole podcast a few weeks back about how men and women love differently. And this doesn't go for all men, all women, but men, I made the argument that men love harder than women do. Not faster, harder. Right. And the reason why I said that is because men love idealistically and women love opportunistically. And here's what I mean by that. Women love men for what they can provide for them. That's why women are looking for men with money and status and all these things. And it's also the reason why when a man gets depressed, he has a mental breakdown or loses his job or his business, following that, the divorce rates spike because women will leave men once they can no longer provide the lifestyle which that woman was accustomed to. That's why I say that women love men opportunistically. Men don't choose women for their status, their money, their careers, their education. A high value man who's on his game, made himself something. We'll call him a king, right? Because when people like to call them kings and queens, whatever. A high productive, high octane man will absolutely marry a woman who's working the cash register at Macy's and turn her into a wife. Yep. But a woman who's making a whole lot of money that's on top of her game will never marry a man who's working the cash register at Macy's. Yep. That's what I mean, folks. Men love women idealistically for who they are, despite what their income is or education level is or status is. But women love men a little bit differently. So is that all women? Of course it's not. Is it all men? Of course it's not. But the women who don't love men opportunistically, those are the women that you guys need to be finding. That's the kind of quality woman that you should be looking for, because that's your ride or die. If you land yourself a woman who loves you for opportunistic reasons, when you're unable to provide those, where do you think she's going to stay? The chances are she's going to leave. So guys, when you're out there in the dating market, really look for and do some of your testing to see what kind of woman you truly have. And if you have a woman who's going to stick by your side through the thick and thin, that's your woman right there. So hopefully that answered your question.
It did. Thank you.
But that would be one of the things. When you finally get her, these are some of the things that you want to make sure that you do in order to retain her, keep her, right? You compliment her often. Number 2 is you publicly praise your spouse. Men for women, and honestly, especially men for women, because men cherish respect. So if you're publicly disrespecting your man, I tell you, women, that one's almost you almost can't come back from that one. Yeah. But the one where we talked about complimenting often, it kind of goes hand in hand with that, because this one, the only difference is this one's really done publicly. That's the difference between the complimenting and then the publicly praise is whether it's done in public or private, right? When you are, this goes both ways. When you're in a gathering with other people, make sure you speak well about your spouse. Successful marriages are the ones where public honor is maintained. I've seen husbands use their wives as the butt of their jokes. I remember standing in a group of men at a party once, and someone complimented one of my friends' wives. He complimented his wife. And in response, my buddy joked and says, "Well, you can have her if you want her." And I quickly clapped back on him and said, "Hey, be careful, because someone might just take you up on that."
Yeah.
And it was one of those, like, we're all still joking, but it was half joke, half truth.
Yeah.
Yep. And what I'm saying is that, look, I'm not saying you can never joke about your wife. Okay. Of course not.
Yeah.
The case above was a little unique, right? But that man often disrespected his wife in public. and it's just a matter of time until things fell apart, you know, because if you treat her that way in public, can you imagine how he treats her in private?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, I mean, if he's out there throwing that kind of shade without any fear and no caring about how she feels about it in public, I mean, the chances are he's probably not very nice to her in private. So, you know, your public respect is a reflection of your private adoration. Okay. So your public respect is a reflection of your private adoration. Do you really honestly think that, I mean, guys, from what you know about me, watching the show now for 16 weeks, this is our 16th show.
Wow.
Congratulations. And what you know about Dwayne after 16 episodes with the big show. Does anyone honestly think that if we were all in a group, does anyone honestly think that Dwayne would be talking shit about Brandy behind her back? He would never do that.
In love.
You know, in jest, right?
Yeah.
But like, he would never disrespect her.
Oh yeah.
And be serious about it.
Right.
So you know, there's definitely some correlation between how people speak about their spouses in public and how good their relationships are. So talk good about your spouse, publicly praise them. Now, the third way that you can really respect and honor the person that you're with is talking to each other daily. You know, don't underestimate the value of communication. Yeah. It's honestly the lifeblood of a relationship. If you don't communicate, you cannot connect. It's simple. It's that simple.
Yeah.
If you don't communicate, you're not connecting. And if there's no connection, there is no relationship. You know, talk, write letters, text messages, send cards, leave notes. These are all great ways to connect. And they can actually be done in addition to the verbal communication. You know, send some loving text messages, write. Guys, when's the last time you wrote a note, a Post-it note, and popped that thing on the refrigerator and went to work? And don't tell her you even wrote it. When's the last time you bought her something or put a note on her favorite beverage in the refrigerator, and when she opened the fridge, she saw the note? And I mean, come on, you guys know that it would give her a smile from ear to ear. Oh yeah. You know, do something special, and you can communicate with her without even being in the room with those little things.
Yeah.
Number 4, make sure you thank them. Thank them on a regular basis for all that they do. Yeah. Men provide a lot of things like fixing sinks and fixing Apple plays, and women provide a lot of things like bringing peace to the house, making the house a home. You know, having food sometimes ready for you, cleaning up the house. Guys, most of you guys don't clean your damn houses. Your women do that. You think that shit stays clean on its own?
It's a miracle.
You know, it's a miracle that there's no dust bunnies in the baseboards. You think it's just because you're a pretty clean guy? Come on, she's maintaining that stuff on a regular basis. Make sure you thank them for it, because trust me, when she's not there, you're gonna recognize just how much she did. And some of you guys have already been there. Some of you guys have already, ruined a relationship and then realized, both men and women, by the way, realize just how much the other person did, because when they're not there, you realize it. So make sure you thank them on a regular basis. Everyone wants to feel appreciated. I mean, let's face it, we all work hard, and it's nice when it's noticed. So thank them. Number 5, find the good. We've actually alluded to this earlier. You know, you generally kind of find what you're looking for. You can be upset, guys. I mean, there's plenty of things. There's plenty of bad things that happen in life to where we can easily find the bad in almost every situation. But if you have that kind of stinking thinking, we both know that your thoughts become your actions, and it's going to mess up your paradigm. It's going to make you jaded and cynical. And you don't want to turn on a damn radio and be cynical about every song. You don't want to go to a job and be cynical about every damn job. Look, life has its challenges, but you need to start finding the good in everything. You can certainly be upset that roses have thorns, or you can rejoice that thorns have roses.
Ooh, that's poetic.
Thank you. I copied that from someone. I didn't make that up. I'm not that smart. But I thought it was pretty profound, because, you know, you have one of the most beautiful flowers on the planet with one of the most annoying things attached to it, thorns, right? So it's all about how we look into it. I remember hearing a story about this father who had two sons, and this is a good example. Father had two sons, and it was Christmas or something, and they lived on a farm, and the boys always wanted livestock or something. And the father says, "I got you your Christmas present." And he walked out into the backyard, and there was a whole big pile of like horse poop, right? And he goes, "Merry Christmas." And the one son was like, "Oh, thanks a lot, Dad. You know, you got me a whole big old pile of freaking poop." And he folds his arms and he walks away. And the other son gets excited, jumps up and down, goes, "Where's the horse?"
Yeah.
Right? The
Yeah.
dad bought him a horse, right? So,
Right.
it's all about how you look at things. So definitely try to find the good, folks. Number 6, some of you guys do this well, some of you guys don't so much, is say I love you. Say it every once in a while. Words matter.
Yeah.
They do. Now, they don't matter as much as actions. We'll all
Right.
agree.
Oh yeah.
But words still matter. Verbalizing your love really makes it real to your spouse. It's not enough to just feel. We also need to express it. So don't be afraid. Guys have a little bit more of a problem with expressing feelings than women do. But
Yep.
don't be afraid to express it, guys, and say it.
Guilty.
Yes. Yeah. And we all are to some degree, right? I mean, guys are more logical. So what I've heard from the guys that I've counseled is Jim, I show her that I love her when I do this for her and that for her.
Yep.
And I go to work 55 hours a week, excuse me, and I bring home the bacon, and that shows her that I love her. What better way of showing her? Fair point, my friend. Fair point. But hey, we're humans, and we want to hear the words every once in a while. So, can you just say I love you and never show the actions? Nope. But also on the flip side, can you show the actions but never say it? No. You got to do both. It's far more important to show that you love someone through actions than it is to say them. Fair point. But still don't neglect saying it every once in a while, because everybody, including us guys, we still want to hear it too, because words matter, and verbalizing our love to our spouse does make it real. There's many, many ways of saying I love you, but why not just say it? Okay, guys. Yes, you're right. There's plenty of ways to say I love you through fixing her car and making sure she's safe and protected emotionally and physically. You're right.
Yeah.
But say it every once in a while. Nothing can replace the words of adoration spoke from a heart of appreciation and love.
Yeah.
Number 7, and we're almost done. We only have 8, is share your dreams. This is one that we don't do very often in relationships on both sides. We all have dreams. Open up your heart, have a conversation, let your spouse in. We allow them to enter a sacred place called our heart. And for many people, it's really hard to let another human being into that sacred place of your heart. Why?
Yeah.
Because many of us are like turtles, very hard on the outside, but soft on the inside. And if you penetrate the turtle shell, it has no defenses for an attack because it's all mushy from there. That's how we feel about our hearts. Once we allow someone to get into our heart and past that wall that we put up, metaphorically, we feel uncomfortable about it because we're vulnerable.
Yeah.
And someone could really crush us, right?
And has. I mean, a lot of the folks here are here because they've been crushed before, and it's like, you want me to do this again?
Ladies, that is the number one reason why men don't share their feelings, because of fear that you'll throw it back in our face.
Yep.
Right, Dwayne?
Oh yeah. Oh, I've been there, done that. Yeah.
So when you get to the point in a relationship where there is no fear, or very low to none fear of that person crushing your dreams, throwing it back in your face, things like that, share your dreams with them. All the things that you thought about when you were a kid, the places you want to see, the things you want to experience, by including your spouse in your dreams, you're sharing that sacred place of your heart with them. Like I said, this is another one of the key aspects of marriage, letting your partner know your heart. Without this, guys, your relationship really kind of remains superficial and empty. Friendship and relationships, kind of the same. they require openness.
Yeah.
You know, they do. Let's go to the comment section real fast. Do we have any comments? What? Yeah, there you go.
Don't let them go. Yeah. Love Language, yeah, that's a good book to read if people would read it, even though they had the DVD, the book, and the chart given to them.
Into the woods. Time for some of that MTB self-love, baby. What's MTB?
I don't know. Maybe that's the youngins. I don't know. You know.
Is there any way we can delete this comment forever?
It's okay. It's a short comment.
Oh man, let me see. Hey, Rich, I saw this yesterday.
Uh-oh.
I saw this yesterday. I thought Richie had shown up to my work in his car. Richie's new ride, everyone. There's Richie's new ride. He got himself a minivan.
Putting the mini in the van.
2 grown-ass men got out of that car yesterday. 2 grown-ass men got out of that car. And I wanted to go take a picture next to it because, like, that car, the top of that car is, like, at my shoulder. You know, I could probably pick it up and put it on my...
Waiting for the clowns to get out or something, yeah.
yeah, like
Hear the
14
music.
people get out of the car. So the last one, folks, number 8, and I figured this would go right in line with Memorial Day weekend, is one of the great ways that we can honor and respect each other is to respect and honor God and country. So, today, I guess technically tomorrow being Memorial Day weekend, today we give all our thanks to all the brave soldiers who fought for our freedoms and died. In honor of Memorial Day, I'd like to read a couple quick Memorial Day stories to kind of brighten your guys' heart up before we close the podcast and help every one of us remember why we actually celebrate this holiday in the first place.
Yeah.
So one quick little story that kind of touched me a little bit is on June 21st, 2006, in the province of Afghanistan, Staff Sergeant Jared Monte's 16-man patrol came under fire. One of his men was wounded and fell over a ridge into what the soldiers described as the death zone. Despite an intense firefight, Jared Monte tried 3 times to save that soldier. And unfortunately, on his 3rd try, he was killed.
Ooh.
He was awarded America's highest honor for heroism, which is the Medal of Honor. Paul Monte, his father, started an organization in his son's memory called the Operation Flag for Vets. Their volunteers recently planted 57,000 flags at the Massachusetts National Cemetery. Paul drives Jared's pickup truck, still does. Just like my mother drives my brother who was killed in a car accident. She drives his pickup truck. And Paul drives his pickup truck with the military's decal still on it. He explains, this is Paul's quote, "It's got his DNA all over it. I love driving it because it reminds me of him. Though I don't need the truck to remind me of him, I still think about him every hour of the day." A Nashville songwriter heard the story and turned it into a song that country singer Lee Brice recorded called "I Drive Your Truck." And it actually earned Song of the Year awards at the 2013 Country Music Awards. So, as of this morning, the YouTube video has probably 28 million views from what I saw. So I urge you guys to watch it on this Memorial Day. It'd be a great video. Another story, Memorial Day story that I wrote down was a dream wedding after a nightmare injury. In 2010, Marine Corporal Juan Dominguez stepped on an IED while serving in Afghanistan, and Dominguez was left a triple amputee. He lost both his legs and one arm, but that didn't stop him from marrying the love of his life, Alexis. To honor the vet, his town in California, where he grew up, donated all of the elements of their dream wedding, an estimated $30,000 worth of stuff, including flowers, the venue, the photographer, the food. But the real icing on the cake was the proverbial cake, was that Dominguez was able to actually walk down the aisle because of a new prosthetic leg.
Oh, wow.
So he was able to walk down with his beautiful wife in a sunset ceremony on April 27th. Dominguez says, "Did I ever think this was going to get to this point? Yes, I did, because nothing has changed. I'm a little bit shorter. I lost a couple legs and an arm, but my brain's still here and my heart's still here. That video of what's his name again, Juan Dominguez, is on YouTube as well, documenting the wedding. So if you guys want to take some time to go on YouTube and search for that, it's a great little video. In closing, here's a couple great Memorial Day quotes from some very famous and wise people. One of my favorites is this: freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on to them to do the same. That was from Ronald Reagan. This is the way we pay homage to all those who did not come home. This is not Veterans Day. It's not a celebration. It's a day of solemn and contemplation over the cost of freedom. Tamara Bolton. Next one. It is foolish and wrong to mourn the men who died. Rather, we should thank God such men lived. George Patton. Folks, in closing, on behalf of Dwayne and I, we just want you guys to remember that we may all of us never forget that freedom honestly is not free. And everybody who served in the military, they all gave some, but some gave it all. So on behalf of Dwayne Ward and myself, we thank all those who have wrote the biggest check you could for the freedoms that we have here in America. Please be grateful for all the things that you guys have, all the people that love you and that you love, because without the people who gave it all, we would not be where we are today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to today's episode of The Big Show, hosted by me, Jimmy Smith, and of course, my co-host and color commentator, Dwayne Ward. We really do appreciate you guys tuning in every week. Thank you for being a part of our 16th episode of The Big Show. It's been going strong now for about 4 months. And, we always appreciate the comments that you guys say to us and the interaction of the show. And I hope you guys have a great Memorial Day weekend. And we'll see you guys here every week on Sunday, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. On behalf of Dwayne and I, you guys have a great Memorial Day weekend. God bless you, and God bless America. We'll see you soon.